Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we go any further, I need you to feel this, not just hear it. Think about the last time a woman looked at you, paused, and said something a little too honest, something she didn't have to share. That moment wasn't random. That was emotional risk, and emotional risk is currency in human connection. If you want to understand women on a level most men never reach, like this video and subscribe right now, because what we talk about here isn't surface-level dating tricks, it's psychology, attachment, and the silent signals that separate men she talks to from the man she lets in. Here's the truth most men miss. Women do not open up by accident. A woman lives in a world where emotional safety is everything. From a young age, she learns to filter, to guard, to measure who gets access to her inner world. So when she begins to tell you about her fears, her past, the things that embarrassed her, the parts she doesn't show on social media, that's not casual conversation. That's a door unlocking. And here's where men mess it up. You think attraction is built on jokes, flirting, and confidence. Those things open the door. But emotional sharing, that's her stepping inside your world and inviting you into hers at the same time. It means she doesn't see you as a threat. She sees you as emotionally safe. And to a woman, safety is the foundation of desire, not the opposite of it. When she says, "I don't usually tell people this," she's not just sharing information, she's testing trust. She's watching your reaction, your eyes, your tone, your patience. Do you lean in or pull away? Do you respect the moment or turn it into a joke? Your response in that exact second decides whether she closes back up or opens even deeper. Because once a woman feels emotionally seen without being judged, something shifts inside her. You stop being just another guy. You become the man she associates with relief, understanding, and emotional exhale. And that, psychologically, is powerful beyond what most men can even imagine. When a woman opens up to you, she is not just telling a story, she is revealing her emotional blueprint. And most men hear the words, but they miss the meaning underneath. She might talk about her childhood, an old relationship, a time she felt ignored, betrayed, or misunderstood. To you, it sounds like background information. To her, it's a map of her emotional world, and she's handing it to you without saying that's what she's doing. Psychologically, self-disclosure creates bonding. The brain releases chemicals linked to trust and connection when we share something personal, and it's received with care. So, in that moment, she is not only evaluating you, she is slowly attaching. Not because you said something perfect, but because you stayed present, calm, and emotionally steady while she became vulnerable. This is where masculine energy matters in a way nobody explains properly. She doesn't open up so you can fix her. She opens up to feel understood. If you jump into problem-solving mode, you unintentionally tell her, your feelings are a problem to solve. But when you listen, reflect, and hold space, you communicate something far deeper. Your emotions are safe with me, and safety is not boring to a woman. Safety is what allows attraction to deepen without fear. When she feels emotionally safe, her nervous system relaxes. Guard drops, playfulness increases, affection becomes natural, not forced. This is the stage where connection starts turning into emotional investment. But here's the part men overlook. When she shares something vulnerable and you handle it well, she mentally separates you from other men. You move from the category of guys I talk to into someone who gets me. That shift is quiet. She won't announce it. But internally, she starts considering you in her future emotional picture. She remembers how you made her feel in that moment. Not what you wore, not the joke you told earlier. She remembers the feeling of being heard without pressure, without interruption, without judgment. That feeling becomes associated with you. And human beings move toward the people who make them feel emotionally understood. That's not manipulation, that's psychology. Here's a truth most men never realize. When she shares something personal, she is measuring your emotional gravity. She's subconsciously asking herself, can I rely on him without fear? Can he handle my inner chaos without panicking? Every word, every pause, every reaction from you is being logged in her subconscious. And the moment you respond with calm, curiosity, and genuine interest, you aren't just listening. You're becoming a safe harbor in her mind. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being steady. Emotional stability is magnetic, far more than flashy words or bold gestures. When a woman senses that your energy won't collapse under her truth, it triggers something primal inside her: relief. Relief that she doesn't have to armor herself. Relief that she can show her raw, unfiltered self without risk. That relief is attraction. That relief is intimacy in its most potent form. But most men fail here because they mistake emotional disclosure for a test to win or impress. They try to one-up her, offer advice she didn't ask for, or make light of her fears. That's a trap. Women are wired to scan for authentic emotional resonance, not cleverness. The man who responds with empathy and patience stands out like a lighthouse in a storm, bright, unwavering, undeniable. Pay attention to the small signals she gives, the slight tremble in her voice, the hesitation before she shares a memory, the way her eyes search yours for approval. Every one of these is a key. If you recognize these and respond with grounded presence, she doesn't just trust you, she starts craving your presence, your voice, your energy. It becomes addictive, though she won't consciously admit it. And here's the kicker: emotional openness is contagious. The more she senses your calm, steady engagement, the more she will continue revealing layers she guards from everyone else. That means she's testing deeper boundaries, showing parts of herself she rarely exposes. And each revelation is a silent admission: you matter, you're different, you're worth her trust. Most men don't understand this. They chase the surface, the physical, the immediate thrill. But when a woman opens up this way, the real power isn't in what she says. It's in what she's choosing to share and how she's choosing you. That's the invisible line where ordinary connection becomes emotional magnetism. Do you feel how powerful this is? Because the moment you internalize this, you stop chasing her approval and start commanding emotional respect without demanding it. That, my friend, is irresistible. Let me tell you something most men never truly grasp. When she chooses to open up, she's not just sharing thoughts, she's revealing her emotional ecosystem, and she's deciding whether you belong in it. Every fear, regret, and insecurity she lets slip is a signal that she's evaluating you on a level far deeper than your looks, your job, or your charm. She's scanning for emotional resonance, for steadiness, for a sense that you won't crumble under the weight of her truth. This is why so many men fail without even knowing it. They hear her vulnerability and feel the urge to fix it or give advice. They misinterpret it as a challenge or a problem to solve. But the reality is, she doesn't want solutions. She wants presence. She wants understanding. She wants someone who can sit in the intensity with her without judgment, without overreaction, without trying to control her emotions. The men who succeed in this are subtle, almost invisible in their influence. They don't lecture, they don't perform, they simply mirror understanding, nod in acknowledgement, and allow her feelings to breathe. And in that breathing space, something remarkable happens. She begins to associate comfort, safety, and emotional intimacy with you. That association is like planting a seed in her subconscious, a seed that grows into attachment, desire, and trust. Now here's the part most men overlook. Emotional openness is a test disguised as conversation. She's watching not just what you say, but how you carry yourself, how you react, and how much patience you can sustain. If you can handle her truth without flinching, without judgment, without trying to rush or redirect her, you're proving that you are emotionally reliable. That proof speaks louder than any pickup line, any gift, any bold gesture ever could. And once she realizes this, once she senses that her emotional self is safe with you, you stop being just another man she knows. You become the man she considers indispensable in her inner world. That's when attraction transforms into connection, and connection transforms into something far more enduring: emotional investment. This is why understanding this isn't optional if you want to succeed with women on a deep, meaningful level. It's not a trick, a game, or manipulation. It's psychological truth. When she opens up like this, she is already placing you inside a space in her life that most men never even get close to, and only a few will recognize it and act accordingly. Here's where this becomes deeper than most men are prepared for. When she opens up and you handle it with emotional steadiness, you're not just creating comfort, you're shaping how she experiences closeness with you from that point forward. Her brain begins linking you with emotional relief. And relief, in psychology, is one of the strongest bonding forces that exists. Think about it. Most people walk around emotionally tense, guarded, filtering themselves. When someone finds a person they can exhale around, the nervous system remembers. That exhale becomes addictive in a healthy way. It feels like home. So when she starts texting you after a long day, sharing random thoughts, telling you small details that seem insignificant, it's not random, it's regulation. Your presence is becoming a place her mind associates with calm. This is why emotional presence is more powerful than performance. You don't have to entertain her constantly. You don't have to impress her every second. The man who makes a woman feel emotionally safe activates something deeper than excitement. He activates attachment, and attachment is what keeps someone choosing you even when life gets busy, stressful, or complicated. But here's the part you must understand. The moment she feels safe, she also becomes more sensitive to changes in your energy. If you suddenly pull away, become cold, dismissive, or inconsistent, it hits harder. Not because she's dramatic, but because she opened the door. And when someone opens emotionally, their nervous system becomes more exposed. So your consistency becomes part of the attraction. Consistency doesn't mean being available every second. It means being emotionally congruent. Your tone matches your words. Your interest feels genuine, not forced. You don't disappear when things get real. That steadiness creates trust, and trust is what allows desire to grow without fear. A woman can be attracted to many men physically, but the man she feels emotionally anchored to, that's rare. That's the man she thinks about when something good happens and she wants to share it. That's the man she turns to when something hurts. You become part of her emotional routine, and routines shape bonds stronger than sudden passion ever could. So when she opens up, don't see it as a moment to react. See it as a doorway. Because the way you step through that doorway determines whether you become a memory or someone she emotionally ties herself to without even realizing how it happened. Now, here's the layer most men never reach because it requires emotional maturity, not tactics. When she opens up and you respond with grounded presence over time, she begins to experience you as emotionally masculine, not loud, not controlling, not dominant in a surface way, but steady in a way that makes her feel held without being restricted. Emotionally, this creates polarity. Her vulnerability meets your calm. Her emotional waves meet your stability. And instead of clashing, they balance. This balance is deeply attractive because it mirrors how secure attachment forms. She feels free to express herself because she senses you won't shame, mock, or withdraw when emotions appear. Here's what happens inside her mind. She starts lowering filters she didn't even realize she had. She talks more openly. She laughs more freely. Her body language softens. Eye contact lasts longer. Touch becomes more natural. Not because you forced escalation, but because emotional comfort reduces psychological resistance. When the mind feels safe, the body follows. But this is where many men sabotage everything. The moment they sense her getting closer, they get anxious. They overthink. They seek reassurance. They start needing validation from the very person who was beginning to see them as stable. And that shifts the dynamic. Instead of being the emotional anchor, they become emotionally dependent, and the polarity collapses. Attraction thrives where there is emotional grounding, not emotional pressure. She opened up because your presence felt strong enough to hold space. If you suddenly start needing her to confirm where you stand every second, she feels the emotional weight shift onto her shoulders. That creates tension instead of safety. The man who understands this allows closeness to develop without grasping at it. He stays warm but self-contained, open but not needy, engaged but not clinging. This communicates emotional security, and emotional security is rare. When she feels that combination, emotional freedom plus emotional safety, something powerful happens. She doesn't just like you, she trusts you with parts of herself she hides from the world. And trust in a woman's emotional system is the gateway to deep attachment. So when she opens up, recognize the responsibility of that moment. You're not being asked to perform. You're being invited to hold emotional space. And the man who can do that consistently becomes unforgettable because he represents something she rarely finds: connection without emotional danger. Now let's go even deeper, because this is where emotional connection quietly turns into emotional priority. When she consistently feels safe opening up to you, her mind starts giving you a different role in her life. Not loudly, not with an announcement, but internally. You become someone she factors into her emotional decisions. She might start wondering what you would think about something before she even tells you. She might hold back from reacting impulsively in situations because your voice, your calm energy, lives in her head as a reference point. That's influence, not control, not manipulation, but emotional impact built through trust. This is what men misunderstand about female psychology. A woman bonds through emotional experience, not just shared activities. If you've been the person she associates with feeling understood, regulated, and emotionally accepted, your presence carries weight, and weight creates meaning. Here's what that looks like in real life. She remembers small things you said. She brings up conversations from weeks ago. She checks in with you when something reminds her of a moment you shared. These are not random habits. They're signs of emotional threading, her mind weaving you into her internal world. But this only continues if she feels emotionally safe staying open. The moment she senses judgment, emotional unpredictability, or dismissiveness, the thread weakens. Women protect their emotional world fiercely. If it feels unsafe, walls go back up fast. That's why your emotional leadership matters. Leadership here doesn't mean telling her what to do. It means modeling emotional regulation. You don't react impulsively. You don't punish vulnerability with distance. You don't use her openness against her later. You remain grounded even when conversations get deep or uncomfortable. When a woman realizes she can bring her full emotional self to you without fear of being minimized, she relaxes into connection. And relaxed connection is where affection deepens naturally. She invests more time, more attention, more care. Not because she's trying to impress you, but because her system now sees you as emotionally significant. And emotional significance is the foundation of lasting attraction. Looks spark attention, personality builds interest, but emotional safety creates bonds. So when she opens up like this, understand what's happening beneath the surface. You're no longer just interacting. You're being integrated into her emotional life. And that's a place very few men ever truly reach. Now, let me give you the final piece, because this is where understanding turns into quiet mastery. When she chooses to open up like this, it's a signal that she already places value on you in a way most men never notice. She's not just sharing stories or feelings, she's emotionally investing, and investment is more powerful than attraction alone. Attraction fades, emotional investment lingers. It guides decisions, shapes desire, and quietly determines who she prioritizes in her life. Most men miss it because they focus on external validation, compliments, looks, or charm. But she isn't measuring you by what you do. She's measuring you by how you make her feel while she's being raw, unguarded, and real. That feeling becomes your invisible advantage. Every time she opens up and you respond with presence instead of pressure, you're carving a deeper place for yourself in her mind and heart. Here's the subtle psychology few men understand. Women subconsciously track emotional safety over time. Every vulnerable disclosure is a data point. Every moment you remain steady, empathetic, and grounded adds to your internal trustworthiness score. That score grows silently, steadily, and once it reaches a tipping point, she begins prioritizing you over men who only offer surface-level excitement. And here's the secret most men never hear. She will often communicate this indirectly. Small gestures, lingering texts, sharing private jokes, seeking your opinion on personal matters, all of these are proof that you matter. The deeper she lets you into her emotional world, the more her attachment grows. She's testing boundaries, yes, but she's also choosing you repeatedly without consciously realizing it. If you grasp this, you see the opportunity. Don't rush, don't force, don't overanalyze. Stay steady, stay present, Stay consistent. Let her feel that she can be completely seen by you, and the way she values you will naturally grow beyond surface attraction. This is not manipulation, it's human connection at its most potent. So remember, the next time she shares something intimate, something she's hesitant to voice, don't see it as small talk. See it for what it is, a rare admission that you matter. And if you honor it with patience, understanding, and emotional steadiness, you become more than a man she likes. You become a man she trusts, invests in, and ultimately remembers above the rest. That, my friend, is the psychology of being irreplaceable.